Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by Strikeforce Welterweight Bobby Voelker. Bobby, how are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Bobby, you recently inked a 5-fight extension with Strikeforce. Was there ever any chance that you wouldn't be going back to Strikeforce?
I was pretty sure I'd be going back to Strikeforce. So there wasn't really any doubt in my mind. I kind of like to get that belt, so I'm kind of glad I'm back.
So there was no possible you going over to the UFC now that they've kind of taken a lot of the top guys away from Strikeforce?
Well, they vote on both organizations, so I guess if they want to take me over, they can. I guess they decided to leave me at Strikeforce for a little bit longer, and I'm there. I'm there to stay for a little bit.
Your last fight, actually your last 2 fights, have both been against Roger Bowling. 1, how happy are you that you're done with him? And 2, how happy are you that you've won, the trilogy, the 2 out of 3 fights?
Oh, man, it was great. I mean, it's the greatest feeling in the world. And 2 out of 3. 3 out of 3 would have been nice, but I'll take 2 out of 3. But no, Roger's a great guy, and we put on some great wars. That's why we kept on having this fight. But it's nice to finally move on to someone new.
What was the best one of your performances of the 3?
I think the second fight was probably my best performance.
Why?
I just that fight I went in just 100% healthy, 100%. Mind was right, everything was just right going in that fight. I think that was my best performance. The third fight, I kind of got a slow start, and he hit me a few times, and I figured out, okay, I'm in a fight. So I kind of woke up and got back at him, but yeah, I think my best performance was probably the second fight.
Was it good for you to get a finish in that third fight? Because in the second fight, he was kind of saying that, he had a broken leg and he had a bunch of issues. Was it good to have a good, solid finish at the end of that fight?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you always want a good, solid finish, but, just to finish off that trilogy, it's always good to just, make sure everyone knows, okay, I finished.
Moving forward, are you graduated from the Challenger Series, or are you going to be back there? What's the deal? What have they got planned for you? Do you even know?
I really don't even know yet. I'd like to think I'm graduated from it. I've had 5 fights, Challengers, and I've done pretty good on all of them. So I'd like to think I've graduated and can go to the main card and fight some of those bigger names.
I was reading somewhere, I can't remember what website it was on, but they were talking about whoever won the fight between you and Roger, and then whoever won a fight between Paul Daley and Tyron Woodley would fight for the vacant belt. Is that the fight that you want, a fight against Tyron Woodley? Because you're obviously the top 2 guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a fight I want. Woodley, we're pretty good buddies and everything, but we both know it's a business, and, we're going to end up meeting eventually, so why not meet for the belt?
How do you think you stack up against him?
Oh, man, he's undefeated. That guy's top of the world right now. There's definitely things to figure out, but I think his strongest point is definitely his wrestling. So that's something I'll definitely be working on if I do get that fight. So, but I think I stack up great. I mean, if you see my fights, I've got heart and conditioning that goes on for days. So I'm ready to go.
There's another guy, Jordan Meehan. He's kind of in the mix. Would you be open to a fight possibly with him and then to a title fight if that's what it takes?
If that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. But yeah, he's a great up-and-comer. He showed a great performance against Cyborg. He's definitely just be up in the mix.
Bobby, how did you get started in mixed martial arts?
I was doing boxing, kickboxing, and just kind of bumped into a guy that said, I got to do this underground fighting, MMA stuff, and I'm like, I guess I've always liked street fighting, so why not check it out? So I checked it out. I think I was 19 or so, and just kind of started training MMA. So I didn't plan on fighting or anything. Just enjoyed the training, and then ended up fighting, and it just took off from there. Kind of fell in love with it.
Where do you train at?
I train all over Kansas City, but the main place is probably American Jiu-Jitsu.
And how did you get your nickname?
Actually, Quadros gave it to me. We're at the first fight, which is here in Kansas City for Strikeforce, and we're doing the interview, pre-fight interview, and all that. And he asked me if I had a nickname. I said, no, I don't have a nickname. And he was kind of joking around. I said, how about Vicious? I was like, it works for me, you know. And then he said, well, let's see how you do in this fight, and we'll decide if we give you the nickname. So I fought Eric Apple at the time. I beat him. And then Paul just came out and called me Vicious, and I was like, okay, I'll take it. So that's kind of how I got the nickname.
Toughest guy you've ever fought?
Toughest guy?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, man. A lot of these fighters, they're all so tough. I mean, you can just beat them with baseball bats and they just keep on coming. But I really don't have a toughest guy that I fought. There's been a lot of tough ones.
Do you have a fight that you would like to show somebody who, you know, if somebody just met you and said, oh, hey, what do you do for a living? And you said MMA fighter, what would the fight be that you'd show them? To say, hey, this is my best fight. What fight would that be?
I wouldn't say it's my best fight, but I think I'd like to show them the trilogy with Roger, just so they can see 3 fights and see how I've, you know, gotten better with each fight and everything, and just, you know, kind of check those out. Are
you a full-time MMA fighter, or do you have another job?
No, I've got another job. I do siding, doors, windows. I sell and install it all, so it keeps me busy.
Bobby, what do you see going into next year? What do you see, if you can kind of predict the future, what do you see going into next year?
What do I see? I'm not sure what I see. I know what I want. I want the belt, so I definitely want whatever opportunity I get to get that belt, whether it be one more fight or just a shot at the belt, you know, as soon as possible. That's definitely what I want, and then after that, just keep on defending it.
When you got into MMA, you said, you know, you just tried it and then eventually you fell in love with it. Did you have any goals going into, and if so, have you accomplished any of them, and what goals do you still have out there to accomplish?
You know, I never really had goals. I always grew up just loving to fight, and that's still what I love to do. It still goes back in the days when I just loved to fight, and I still love to fight, and as long as I love doing it, I'm going to keep on doing it.
Bobby, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank? Anything you want to say to the fans?
No, I don't. Just, you know, keep on watching me, keep on supporting me, you know, just be there, keep me strong.
Bobby, really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
Thank you.